You have to go into each match believing you can beat all of the players. I don't play any tournaments to come second best. If you want a player to serve and volley more, you need to teach them to do that more, how to move at the net. Like most guys, I've always liked watches. I can always check the time on my phone, but having a watch is so much better. A lot of times, the press guys ask why I take an hour and a half to come to the interview room, but if you don't do the massage and the ice baths and the stretching and the cooling down and the eating, and your opponent is doing that stuff, they already have an advantage. You can't focus on other people's careers. Everybody is different. I don't actually go to that many concerts. It's not the end of the world to lose. The only pressure I feel is the pressure I put on myself to win. I used to think that losing made you more hungry and determined, but after my success at the Olympics and the US Open I realized that winning is the biggest motivation. Boxers risk a lot in the ring. That's one of the things that attracts me to it. You want to see a knockout, but I also really don't want to see people get hurt. It's this constant dilemma when I'm watching boxing. The only times I get nervous is watching a really big fight or when my brother is playing. I get to the stage where I'm actually shaking. I hate losing. In tennis, it is not the opponent you fear, it is the failure itself, knowing how near you were but just out of reach. My fitness trainer's English, my physio's English, some of my friends are English. I don't have a problem with English people at all. For much of the year, you're just trying to maintain your fitness. It's not often you get a lot of time to really concentrate on improving it. Staying more controlled mentally stemmed from taking my fitness more seriously. When you're doing track work, sprints and so on, it's pretty painful, but that does make you feel better prepared and therefore mentally stronger when you're going into a match. You know, without a doubt, that you are strong enough to last. I tend not to argue about things that I don't believe in. I don't want a flashy car, just something that would allow me to stop using the tube. And it would be good not to have to rely on my mom all the time, particularly when I have to listen to her singing in her car. I am not anti-English, and I never was. Everything in tennis is so neat and nice, but boxing has sport down to its essence. It is very pure and I like that. Tennis is an individual sport, and I am quite a self-conscious person. I think most players would love, at one stage in their career, to say, I've been number one in the world. I've realized over the years I play my best when I have time to prepare for each tournament as best as possible. A lot of athletes use sports psychologists. Contrary to my image, I do have a sense of humor. Obviously you try to keep as much of your private life as private as you can. A lot of the players are very complimentary about each other. They embrace at the end of matches because the level of the tennis has been so good. I think that's something that tennis has got to be proud of. When a lot of things are going the wrong way for a country, for a people, when you can't really think of anything worse than a war, you always try to take life on the brighter side, and that's how I grew up with my parents. When you have beaten guys a few times, you don't want them to think they know how you are going to play them. You have to try and find different ways of beating them. You have to do things they don't expect sometimes, put something unpredictable into your game. I never read the paper or anything. I watch a lot of movies, and TV series and stuff. But I never read. I do think your personal life has an impact on your tennis. If your private life is up and down, and you're thinking about what is going on back home, then you aren't solely focused on your job, but when things are good back home, it's so much easier when you're on court. It's not necessarily marriage, it's more having a stable relationship. Getting married is great, and I feel really good away from the court, and my private life and stuff is good. But you still need to train and work hard. Like, I didn't go on a honeymoon after we got married. I went to Barcelona and trained for 10 days to get ready for the clay court season. It's been good, but you still have to put the work in. I'm definitely open to change, but at the same time I am quite stubborn. Well, my mum's been a tennis coach. She coached me till I was 12. When I'm at home, I enjoy going go-karting. My dinner options are kept simple during Wimbledon. I have either salmon with rice, roast chicken with vegetables and potatoes, or steak with salad. My girlfriend Kim will cook, and I know each night that it will be one of those three. I've never felt nervous in front of big crowds and in big stadiums. When I'm training in December, I have to eat like 6,000 calories a day to maintain my weight. It's a bit tiring. Boxing, mixed martial arts and tennis are the hardest sports to train for. One of the things I would have loved to have had was a family that worked better together, although I love my mother and father to bits. I do some 400 repetition running for endurance on the court. I'll be in the gym lifting weights, or I'll be putting in a lot of core stability to work to improve my balance. To be honest, I think bananas are a pathetic fruit. It's easy to start overthinking things and overanalyzing things. Sometimes you're looking to play perfect tennis, but it's not going to happen all the time and you have to accept it. I am Scottish. I am also British. There is a fear of emotion in tennis. When I'm in Miami, I like to go and watch basketball, the Miami Heat. I've been asked a lot lately if tennis is clean or not. I don't know anymore how you judge whether a sport is clean. If 1 in 100 players is doping, in my eyes that isn't a clean sport. I am not stroppy at all. You are always talking about yourself and tennis and how you are feeling. I try to avoid it when I don't have to. People say to me, "You don't seem that interested in interviews." Well, you know, I'm not, often. I'm not going to talk tactics with the press, so you are left with talking about how you are feeling. For me, it is not the most interesting thing to be doing. For me, by far, the Olympics is the biggest sporting event in the world. Everybody always talks about the pressure of playing at Wimbledon, how tough it is, but the people watching make it so much easier to play. Having a normal knee would make life a lot easier. I love music. I listen to a lot of it. I play fantasy basketball and fantasy football, soccer. Which quotation do you like the most? Don't forget to subscribe.